up guys, this is Chris here, and today we're going to be looking at another new gun. Today we're going to be going over the Ruger Security 380 Lite Rack. This came out a couple weeks ago, and everybody's been asking me to get it, so we did. The Ruger Security 380 I think is going to be a very popular gun with a lot of people, and maybe not so much with like the tactical community. So what you're getting out of this firearm is you're getting a polymer framed, I think it's striker fired, but it could be internal hammer fired. Really doesn't make any difference to the user. But it is a 3-inch barrel, a 19-ounce overall weight. Comes with iron sights. It has a safety, has non-ambi controls, decent trigger, and then it comes with the double stack capacity that you guys have been looking for. It comes with a 10+1 and then a 15+1, which is pretty good for a 380. What you're going to get out of this is you're going to get a gun kind of marketed for people that are looking at that same Smith & Wesson EZ style of firearm, or the Equalizer style of firearm, that's going to have a lighter recoil spring. It's going to be very easy to rack, very easy to operate. And now with this sort of subcompact size 380, you're going to get a gun that's easy to shoot, in my opinion, as well. That's the concept behind it anyway. Putting 380 in a gun like this, that's like a 9mm size gun. The concept for sure is going to be light recoil. And for a lot of people who are looking for a light to rack firearm, they're also going to be looking for a light recoiling gun. So to me personally, that makes a lot of sense. Also, we have this safety on here, which seems to be a little hard to operate, but I know for the same crowd that's going to be digging this gun, you're probably going to want a safety as well. Iron sights on it, front fiber optic, blacked out rear, although it is adjustable. I think it's an internal hammered fire gun because we got a little slot back here. And then the grip itself feels pretty good. It feels very Ruger Security 9 if you're into that. And then we have a light rail up front, but we have a really big trigger guard, which I'm a big fan of because even with gloved hands, you should be able to run this gun relatively well. Big thick grip on it, much bigger than something like the LCP Max. If you're looking for a small 380, this isn't it. Ruger also makes the LCP Max and the LCP2. Check those out. We did a video on those a little while back. This is more of a replacement for something like a Glock 26. This is about Glock 26 size, Canic subcompact size, except you're going to be able to get a light racking 380 low recoil gun with this instead of a full size 9mm caliber. Today we're going to go down to Mr. Guns and shoot this guy and see how it operates, and then after that we'll come back here and give you my first impressions. But before we do that, I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much. It's because of you guys we have guns like this on the channel. We purchase this with the Patreon dollars, so we appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, this is the best way to do it. Just go to the link in the description below. And if you're not interested in Patreon and you want to help us out anyway, YouTube has super thanks. It's really easy to do. People have been doing it a lot lately, and we appreciate that as well. Goes to Guns and Ammo either way. Also in that description is a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS. That could really use your help, so please get out and donate to those kids. All right, so we're gonna try out the Shorty mag. We got MagTech 380 in there, and we'll just see how she runs right out of the box. I mean, shot the Ruger LCP2 or LCP Max the other day, and that is a 380 as well, but this one has so low recoil. I mean, you can tell this is made for a older audience. This is a super easy gun to shoot. Really light recoil. Didn't lock back on the last round. All right, so it's a concealed carry gun. Let's put it through some concealed carry drills and just see.
The mag exploded.
No problem as well. And my mag did explode, so keep running here and we'll show this. So one thing I take advantage of with Springfields and Walters and Smiths and all that is shock absorbent base pads on a magazine. Well, I guess we're about to find out how these go together. Looks like it goes in like that. It's all good, I guess. Little crack right there. Huh. High quality. All right, so now we'll go a little move and drill and see how that runs. Hopefully we're breaking the gun in a little bit. I think with a gun like this, you're gonna have a little break-in period. It's 300 bucks after all. So hopefully the magazine holds up. Still no lockback. All right, so as you guys know, this is a copy of the Smith & Wesson EZ, very classic Ruger. Take a good design, make it slightly the same but cheaper, I guess. I like how easy it is to rack. That is certainly, the light rack is certainly a thing they did. Very similar to what they did on the PDP-F and then on the EZ and then on the Equalizer. They just made the recoil spring light enough for everyone to operate, which is nice, but it doesn't sacrifice on recoil control. The recoil is very low on this. But right now we've got a credit card size box drawn down there at 10 yards. And I just want to see if I can keep all the rounds in that box from here. Not like a pinpoint aiming spot, but like, you know, good enough for an A zone at, let's say, 25 yards. All right, let's throw the safety on here, which is actually hard to turn on, but not hard to flip off. And I like that because you're not gonna put it on by accident. But let's go down there and check our group. I shot 7 rounds. Now that first one I noticed, I shot high. So with the remainder, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all right there. So you're looking at, I don't know, maybe corner to corner, maybe 1.5 inch, 2 inch group at 10 yards. That's pretty good. Don't count that wide. No, don't worry about that guy.
It's more like a cell phone size.
Yeah, it's cell phone
People
size,
are gonna
right.
be
Yeah, that's
like,
a big ass. Because I did draw with my cell phone.
It must have been your big dumb thumbs.
Yeah, it might have been, right?
Because it locked
right.
back that time.
I think what it is just, yeah, I wanted to put a little more than 100 rounds through it just because it felt a little janky. And usually with janky guns like a Taurus or cheap Ruger or something like that, usually you just gotta break it in a little bit more and then it starts to smooth out. The reset's a little long, but not too long. So as long as you get used to it, it's not that big of a deal. Now this extended magazine here, there's some space on either side, and you can see I don't love the lockup on the magazines, and I don't love the cheesiness of the mags. The mag is the heart of the gun. Everybody just talks about barrel with a handgun. If your mags are unreliable, your gun's unreliable. So I'm a little iffy on these mags. It's still accurate even one-handed. I bet that group opened up a little bit. Let's take a look at it now. Those were like my last 5. I feel pretty good about that. And that was one of the left-handers down there. And this was, I think, as well. I saw one fly wide to the right. Usually with your right hand, if you're pulling the trigger off to the left, it only makes sense if you're shooting one-handed that you're going to pull it off to the right. Ooh. Generally though, one-handed it's worse because even though you're capable of pulling off to the right with your strong hand or your weight can support on it, if you have no hand on it, it tends to go where the path of least resistance is. So good group though. I like this gun, I have to admit. All right, so first impressions of the Ruger Security 380 Lite Rack is that first off, I gotta shorten the name a little bit. If you come up with a new gun, just call it something different. You don't gotta call it Security 380, just call it the Ruger Lite Rack. It would be way easy. Second thing, The trigger is not great, but it isn't bad. That's actually the thing that I didn't think I was gonna like, but here's what I didn't like. I didn't like the magazine. So on one occasion, one of 2 times we dropped this magazine, it exploded. And that sucks, but it's not the biggest deal because it did go back together and it was operational after that with no tools. So it is what it is. Just don't be dropping these on concrete apparently. And then on this guy here, on the 15 round mag, just like Smith, because they copied the equalizer. They might as well copy the mags too. And this stuff, I mentioned this in the video, but I hate this stuff. I hate this, that Smith & Wesson does these mag sleeves, and I don't like that Ruger is doing them as well. I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to give a full grip, but what you should do is make a dedicated magazine base plate where this is all attached, or at least put some super glue on them or something. Now I know it's gonna make the magazine impossible to disassemble if you do decide to super glue these, and that would suck. But if you manage to do this with a factory with a release mechanism, then you wouldn't have to do that. And when I grip this gun, I wouldn't have to pinch my hand all the time, which totally sucks. I don't like that, and it's not a system that is just bad with Ruger. I've never seen the system done well. That being said, is it better than just having it bare? I don't know actually, because I run G17 mags and Glock 19s all the time and I've never had any problem. So I might actually just take the sleeve off and run it without it. Even though it won't look as good, it'll operate the same. Other than that though, the gun actually is pretty sweet. 15 plus 1 of 380 is no joke. I know 380 is not ideal, but full metal jacket, the right ammunition, you can get the right penetration, you put it on target, it's still gonna work. The spine shot's still a spine shot no matter what caliber you use. 15 plus 1's very good. It's a light recoiling gun that you could practice with really, really easy. I was really shocked at how low recoil it was, because with the LCP Max, a very small gun, and 380 has a lot of recoil through that. Obviously nothing with a Glock, kind of a Glock 26 style gun overall. It's the same size, the same width in my opinion. Now that's one thing I did want to mention, is that they did make the grip a full size subcompact grip, not like the new micro 9s and the micro 380s and stuff that are coming out. This is a full size gun, or at least a full size subcompact gun, if that makes any sense. Full size thickness. So I like that. I felt like that is one of the reasons that made it so comfortable and so intuitive to shoot, because it's not an overly accurate platform in my personal opinion, but I was able to put a lot of rounds in kind of a credit card space at 10 yards relatively easily, and for self-defense that's absolutely all you need. You want to hit it, hey, diddle right in the middle, up close. That's usually where the work takes place, so it works for me. Now these speed holes here, I get that it looks cool, and I get they're lightening the slide so they can lighten the recoil and everything, but I wonder if in the future maybe they could do that without putting holes all the way through the slide. Defensive firearms, I know I like a lot of, you know, John Wick style guns, Terran Tactical style guns, but for defensive style guns, I do prefer to see no holes in the slide, just in case you get dirt, debris, things like that in there. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about is the set screw on the rear sight did loosen up, and we had to tighten that up, and we also did have one malfunction. Now, is that a break-in period thing? I think so, because the gun felt like it was getting looser and looser the more I shot it, and the more I shot it, finally at the last magazine, I was able to drop the slide release, and the slide would go all the way home and it would seat the round. Previous to that, I had to kind of give it a little extra oomph, and that is a classic break-in period issue, and with a gun that's on the $300 price point, I don't expect them to pre-break it in before you get it. So you're gonna get some pros and some cons of $300 guns, but for the most part, this is a pretty impressive firearm. I know that this is going to be marketed toward older people, smaller statured people, new shooters, people that are new to concealed carry, and I think this is a great gun for that, as long as it's reliable, of course. And Ruger has a tendency to make cheap but reliable guns, so we're definitely going to be doing a 1,000 round review of this, and I good luck finding 1,000 rounds of 380 right now, but we'll find something. I'm at cut 9mm in half. I think that it will be a good gun to test and see if it's reliable, because kind of my target market. I gear my gun reviews toward the everyday person, the everyday concealed carrier, and I think that that's what Ruger is targeting for this. I don't think this is a target gun, so we're going to treat it like a carry gun. We're going to put it through all the regimented testing that we do for 1,000 round reviews, and we'll get back to you on the results, but so far so good. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please support your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.